So the new development bank was formed in 2014. The Articles of Agreement were signed then. We opened our doors in 2015 on the 21st of July. The AIIB was started, the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank was started slightly earlier, opened offices in November 2014, but we are sister institutions in many respects. We have complementary mandates. However, we have very different geographic focus areas, if you like. The new development bank is focused on Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The AIIB has got a more Asian specific remit. But in many respects, we have overlapping mandates in the sense that we are focused on developing infrastructure, and we also have a strong focus on sustainable development. I wouldn't say that we are competitors at all. Most of the other development banks, we see them, and in fact, I should say that in our Articles of Agreement, we have a specific instruction from our founders to ensure that we work in a complementary fashion. There's a massive gap in infrastructure finance in the world. McKinsey Institute estimated 3 years ago that something like $3 trillion is required every year. If you add up the capital available for infrastructure finance of all the 20 or so multilateral development banks, it does not meet that infrastructure need. So there is space for newcomers. We have to see our roles in a complementary fashion. CRA is almost like a virtual facility, if you like. It's not a big institution with offices and hundreds of people walking around. The CRA, the Currency Reserve Arrangement, is an endeavor by the 5 countries to provide a mechanism, a facility for any situation that might arise where any of the 5 countries experience balance of payments or liquidity challenges. So instead of going to the IMF for a bailout package, for example, they could go to the CRA. So the CRA is a pooling of the foreign exchange reserves of these 5 countries. In the new development bank, the contribution of the paid-in capital is in equal terms. Each country, irrespective of economic size, have contributed to date and will continue to contribute over the next number of years in equal portions. CRA is the only body where the capital contributions are disproportionate. So there, China, as you correctly said, will be paying $41 billion, $18 billion by India, Russia, and Brazil, and $5 billion by South Africa. But it doesn't impact or affect the operational, the focus, the DNA that we're trying to build within the NDB. Shanghai is emerging as a major financial center in Asia. Secondly, China is second biggest economy in the world, and therefore huge global focus in financial terms on this city. Thirdly, as an attractive place to build a new institution to attract capital, to attract human capital, to attract people from the 5 countries and internationally to come and work, it's a good selling point. We're not taking them to some small inconvenient town. So there's a lot of very attractive features about Shanghai. However, in terms of our lending program, each of the 5 countries, as I mentioned, have made equal contributions to the capital of the bank. We will seek to achieve and maintain broad equilibrium and balance, if you like, between the 5 countries. So the fact that we are in China does not mean China will have more projects. Over time, we have set ourselves an objective to significantly fast-track the pace of delivery of infrastructure projects. So from the point when a project is identified to doing the feasibility studies, to going through the due diligence of the project, up until when the ribbons are cut and the project is officially there, we believe that those processes can be significantly shortened, right? So one way in which we hope to be different is that our structures will be more fast-moving, we will be more agile and more nimble as an organization. Even in our structure, in the way that we are organized as a bank, I'll give you a sense. We have only 7 levels between the president of the bank and support staff, right? So in other banks, let's take the Asia Development Bank, you have 19 different levels, right? In the World Bank, you have 12 different levels. So we have compressed the layers in the organization, number one. Number two, our board is very small, 6 members. Our board of governance is very small, 5 members. Our investment committee, the president and 4 vice presidents, 5 people. So it's easy for us to convene, easy for us to do things, and we're going to try and keep that nimbleness as we grow.